She returned the ring on a Tuesday afternoon. No shouting, no accusations, no dramatic scene, just quiet honesty. She slid it across the cafe table, looked me in the eyes, Warren, and said, "I can't marry someone who doesn't know who he really is." And before I could return her heart, she returned the ring. I thought I was ready for love. I just wasn't ready to be real. When I met Maya, I was 27, confident, ambitious, well-dressed, well-spoken. At least, that's what everyone saw. I had the car that looked successful, the apartment that looked impressive, the job title that sounded bigger than my actual role. I knew how to shake hands firmly, how to make eye contact, how to control a room with my voice. I had mastered presentation, but I had never mastered honesty. Maya didn't fall for money. She fell for what she believed was vision. She believed I was building something meaningful. And in a way, I was. I was building an image strong enough to hide my insecurities. Maya loved differently. She didn't care about status. She cared about depth. She would ask questions no one else dared to ask. What are you afraid of? What keeps you up at night? What do you think you're avoiding? And every time she reached for something real, I handed her something polished. If she asked about fear, I joked. If she asked about childhood, I summarized. If she asked about my weaknesses, I redirected. I told myself I was protecting my pride. But the truth, I was protecting my mask. 2 years later, I proposed. It looked like a movie. Sunset, ocean breeze. I knelt down with confidence. But inside, I was trembling. Not because I was overwhelmed with certainty, but because I was afraid. Afraid she would eventually see through me. Afraid she would leave if I didn't lock it in. So I proposed. And she said yes. She cried. She held me. And everyone celebrated. But deep inside, I felt relief. Not peace. Relief that she hadn't left yet. And that should have been my warning. Engagement is different. Dating allows mystery. Engagement demands clarity. She started asking about our future in detail. Finances, family, emotional habits, childhood wounds. Not to criticize, but to build something stable. And every conversation felt like exposure. I became defensive, short-tempered, distant. She would say, "Why do I feel like you're not really here?" And I would respond with frustration. "I'm right here, aren't I?" But being physically present is not the same as being emotionally available, and she could feel the difference. One night she said something that shook me. "I don't need a perfect man. I need a real one." I laughed it off, told her she was overthinking, told her relationships don't need to be that deep. But that was fear speaking, because depth would require honesty, and honesty would require me to admit I wasn't as confident as I seemed. I wasn't as secure as I projected. I was building strength on top of insecurity, and it was exhausting.
If you are hiding behind success, if you are using charm to avoid depth, if you are proposing without vulnerability, stop.